Hey YouTube, how you guys doing? Jared Fuller here. Today is Sunday, November 11th, 2018. Joining me off camera again this week is Amy. She gives a very little, where you could probably barely hear her. I hope you've all had a wonderful week. My week's been pretty good. How was your week, Amy?
Actually, pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Wasn't bad.
You know, like I was telling a friend of mine, I'm actually shocked. Usually by now I'm in the stretch unit.
Well, not this week.
Not this month at all.
It wasn't a bad week. I mean, there were a few bumps in the road, but not anything astronomically bothersome, you know?
Yeah. Nothing to be able to put me in the stretch unit or anything, which is good.
Now, if you watched last week's video where my uncle had come walking in, that was my Uncle Mark, he got thrown out of here last week. He came over and was just being off-the-wall belligerent, threatening to hit my dad. And my dad was out hunting with my Uncle Tim. And he came over here, and he was just shooting off at his mouth. And I told him, if you're going to come over here and be belligerent, Mark, you can leave. You can get out. Stay out. And we were arguing back and forth. He wouldn't stop. You know, we tried, didn't we, Amy? We tried to, you know, we said what...
There was three of us.
Yeah, it was me and my brother Jay and Amy, and we tried to, you know, we said our piece and we put an end to it, maybe move on and get over it. He kept going and going and going. And I said, you know what, Mark, if you're not going to stop, get the out. And, you know, some words were exchanged, tempers flared up, and my brother, Jay, actually got in his face. He says, if you're going to come over here and talk your crap, get out of here. And, no, I'm not going to hit anybody, and although Uncle Mark did tell Jay, you know, well, come on, you know, bring it on, hit me with your best shot kind of a thing, he cowered down when Jay actually stood up and got in his face. So that was a little bump in the road last week. But other than that, I mean, you know, the week was pretty good. And there was an announcement I wanted to make. But before I get to that announcement, don't forget to visit GuideStar.org. Yes, GuideStar.org has a complete and comprehensive list of all of the legitimate 501c3 nonprofit organizations and LLCs tied in with the federal government and the Internal Revenue Service. Don't be fooled. Don't be duped. Visit GuideStar.org today. Get that out of the way early in this week's video so I don't forget, because there's a lot that I wanted to talk about. So yes, as many of you know, I'm back on Facebook. Woohoo! And of course, I'm still there. I haven't left, and I'm not going to leave. But there was another big announcement I wanted to talk about. In 5 days, on November 16th, I will be commemorating 19 years of writing journals. I've been writing poetry probably longer than that, I would guess. Actually, I wouldn't guess, I would know. Yes, I have been writing poetry longer than I've been writing journals, but November 16th, 1999 will mark, you know, that's the 19th anniversary. Let's see, today's Sunday, the 11th, so in 5 days, so it'd be Friday, I think? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, yeah. Friday, this coming Friday, November 16th, will be the 19th anniversary of my journal writing. So I'm going to have like a little book gathering in my bedroom. I'm going to take some video footage. I'm going to put together like a video montage and just kind of, you know, talk about what got me into writing and why I continued to be so prolific with my writing, and it's been a wild ride these past 19 years. I don't have my journal with me right now, I don't think. I don't. My journal's in my bedroom. That's okay. But I'm still in book 127. I write in composition books. As a matter of fact, this is what book 126 looks like. I can show you real quick. This is what book 126 looks like. I write, the day that I start, the day that I end, how old I am when I start, how old I am when I finish, and, everything in between. And that's basically what journal writing is, kind of like a diary, but they're like cousins of one another. Diaries and journals are cousins to one another, but I've been a journal guy since I was 13 years old. I'm currently 32. It's been the love of my life for the past 19 years this coming Friday, so I'm proud of myself. It's an accomplishment. It's a crown jewel that I should be proud of, and I am. There was an event last night that I missed for Buddy Boy. They had comedy night last night in Chesaning at Riverfront Grill. I missed it. I wouldn't have been able to go anyway because my van has a flat tire. The driver's side back tire is flat, so either way, I wouldn't have been able to go. But I did forget about it, and I'm sorry, Miller family. It's no disrespect. There's just been some other things going on. But I haven't missed any of Buddy's events. That one now will probably be the first, as long as I've known them anyway. Because I'm sure there were several events before I actually got to know the Miller family and meet the Miller family. But I'll never forget the very first time I met the Miller family. It was a couple years back. They had, it was at Circus Park in Clio. That's where I first met everybody. And it was kind of a rough night for me because, the trolls and my haters were giving me a bunch of crap. And I was trying to have a good time and enjoy myself. And I actually had to get on the phone with the police because people were messing with me and just doing a lot of heinous garbage on the internet that they shouldn't have been. But the very first time I remember meeting Buddy was at that event at Circus Park in Clio. And it's been a couple of years. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but it's been 2 years already. And that's where I first met everybody. The family's really nice, and they've been very hospitable. And even now that after Buddy's gone, they are still the most hospitable people I've ever met in my life. They're very beautiful, wonderful, amazing, loving, and caring people. But I am sorry. I do apologize for having missed Buddy's event last night, the comedy night in Chesaning, just right uptown. I'll catch the next event, they have for Buddy. And I don't know if I mentioned this last week. I don't remember if I did. I probably did, but I'll kind of talk about it. They're looking into having a nonprofit organization set up in Buddy's memory, in his honor. So they're looking into, filling out all of the necessary paperwork for the 501c3, which is really, really cool. And I'll support them any chance I get. Even if it's just a small contribution to their nonprofit organization, why not? I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to helping them and helping everybody. That's what I do. But the week has been fairly good. I had to go to Saginaw last week because I dropped my phone and the screen had broken at the top. It spiderwebbed at the top, and there were lines going through it, and I couldn't use my phone, so I had to go to this place in Saginaw called Platinum Wireless. It's on the corner of Bay and Court for my local friends. They charged me $55 to have a new screen put on, but the problem is that I still have lines going through my screen. And as you can, it'll be hard to see on the screen here, but there are still lines going through the screen. But nonetheless, there are lines going through the screen. You can't see it. So I'm going to have to go back or call them probably today or tomorrow. Well, today's Sunday, so I'm guessing they might be closed today. But I'll just call them tomorrow and see if they got my new screen, because they said they would have a new replacement screen for me, and they weren't going to charge me extra. And I told them, I said, damn straight you're not charging me extra. I done paid you the $55. I expected to get what I paid for, you know. I don't want to do this runaround with you guys. I just want to have my phone fixed and be done with it. But, yeah, that happens. And all the time that I've owned a cell phone, I've never dropped it until last week when I was at the back 40. Because I stopped in and had it was a beef nacho and a Coke. Beef nacho supreme, that is. I just needed to get away by myself for a little while, you know. I need that time away and just to unwind. But that's where it happened, in the parking lot of the back 40. Thanksgiving is on November 22nd. I don't know what our plans are for Thanksgiving, because I know a lot of people who watch my Sunday video updates. They come here, or if they're friends with me on Facebook, or if they're following me on Twitter, they get all the information and updates about what I'm doing, what's going on. We haven't been invited anywhere for Thanksgiving. I was just thinking about having a little dinner here.
Yeah.
Buy a nice shank ham.
My mom's not having a Thanksgiving dinner this year.
Buy
Just going to go to Ponderosa.
Buy a bag of potatoes, have some mashed potatoes, buy a jar of gravy, some yams. I was thinking maybe even buying some stuff to make green bean casserole, because I know how to make green bean casserole. And buy maybe a couple of cherry cheesecakes for dessert. That sounds good. That sounds good.
Better make sure the big ones this time, not those small little ones
well,
you got the last time.
I tried to find bigger ones, but I couldn't, because I shopped at Meijer. I couldn't find the bigger ones. Maybe I wasn't looking in the right spot, but
right.
I was in the frozen food, where they keep the frozen dessert.
Yeah.
So, and I found they had cherry cheesecake, they had Dutch apple pie, they had chocolate cream pie, I think. They had like different varieties of pies and cakes, and it sounds good. It sounds good right now.
Peanut butter.
Yeah, they had peanut butter pecan, I think. And I could be getting this wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was peanut butter pecan. But yeah, they had all different varieties of cakes and pies. I love cheesecake. I love pie. But birthday cake, I'm not really a fan of birthday cake.
No. So every year we just get a pie.
Just get a pie or a cheesecake. If you're gonna buy me a cake, give me a cheesecake. Get me, just buy a bucket of ice cream. Like, get Neapolitan ice cream. Although I'm a vanilla guy, I like the, strawberry and chocolate. I almost forgot. I almost said cherry. Vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate. But I'm a vanilla guy, but, every once in a while I like strawberry and chocolate ice cream too. So I like Mackinac Island fudge ice cream and Moose Tracks ice cream. I'm talking food over here, and my mouth is kind of watering just a little bit.
I hear you.
But yeah, Thanksgiving is coming up. We haven't had any plans yet. I don't know if we're invited anywhere. If not, we'll probably just have a small dinner here. But I gotta know before the 19th, because that's when I plan to go shopping to get all of these items that I wish to purchase for the dinner, if we're gonna have it here.
Right.
I gotta know, people. I gotta know before the 19th, because that's my deadline. That's when I plan to go shopping.
As far as I know, we ain't got nothing.
Yeah, I don't know what Grandpa's doing. I don't know if he's gonna have a little dinner or what's going on. He'll probably go to his friend's house. But yeah, that's all right. We can have a little dinner here. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant.
Nope.
I've never cooked a ham before.
Yeah, it has. He'll show you.
And it's going to be a shank ham, so it's not going to take, a shank ham is just a smaller, although, on Thanksgiving, preferably we eat turkey on Thanksgiving. We're not turkey fans around here, but on second thought, it's all about how it's cooked. It's how it's prepared. Some people can cook turkey nice and moist. I like my turkey cut nice and thin when I eat it. So, you know, we don't eat turkey here, not on a regular. But again, like I said, I don't know what the plans are. I'll probably just buy a little nice ham, because we love ham. I'll buy a little shank ham, bag of potatoes so I can make mashed potatoes, buy a jar of gravy, maybe some yams, buy some eggs so I can make deviled eggs. I'll have to buy some paprika, and of course maybe some items to make green bean casserole. Deviled eggs sound good too. I better stop talking. Yeah, I better stop talking about food. I've never made deviled eggs before, but I know you can use paprika. Not everybody uses paprika in their deviled eggs. That's what I was told.
Not everybody, but...
I'll try it. I'll buy the paprika just to see how it turns out. I'll have to watch one of those YouTube videos that shows you how to make deviled eggs, because they are good. I love deviled eggs. Oh. But, yeah, we're talking food here. We're talking turkey in this week's edition of the Sunday Video Update. Dad took my brother Jay back home, so he's not joining us. For some reason, he just doesn't want to join us in these. But I take that back. We were lucky enough that 1 week to have him here with us.
Yeah.
But that's because he had no choice. He was already here. He was drinking coffee, smoking a cigarette. Yeah, so now you're stuck, Dad. You can't leave. But he did leave that one time when he went out hunting. But yeah, there's a lot going on, a lot happening. That's about it. I mean, there's really nothing more to talk about other than nothing. I kind of went blank for a minute. But we're all doing okay. I think my allergies are flaring up. I did a live video yesterday on my Facebook page, and I sneezed right in the live video. Amy was joining me too, but it's like, oh, sorry guys, you know, the allergies are really flaring up, and we did get our first snow of the season. We did get our first snowfall, but it melted so quickly, it just came and went, you know, just like that. So
yeah, we got, I think, some more coming though.
Yeah.
Up north, they got hit. Up in the UP, they got hit.
Oh, the Upper Peninsula, they always get snow. They get it bad.
Hey, you sounded like a sheep.
Bad. No, but when we get thunder and lightning with snow, that's when we're in trouble. That's when we get 15, 16, 20 inches of snow. People, well, thunder and lightning with snow, I never heard of that. Well, it happens, and it happens here in Michigan. We get that. And I'm sure it happens in other states as well. But I know here we get it majorly. It is a common occurrence. So, yeah, I mean, we're all doing well. Amy went to the bathroom. Excuse me. We're all doing well here. I've been doing okay. I'm when I get feeling those certain feelings, I just, when I get depressed, I just pick up and just put on a smile and say, you know what? Not today. Not today. I'm going to be just fine. I'm still taking my Lexapro, of course, my antidepressant medicine. And there was something else I wanted to talk about, too, which kind of, it hits me really hard in the heart, because there's an older gentleman who, he goes by the name of Bob Larkins. He passed away recently. He was 88 years old. He lived over by Oakley on Fordney Road, for those of you who are familiar with that area. He didn't have a crumb of food in his house. He had no food in his house whatsoever. And one day, my dad and I were over there because my dad was looking into hunting on his property. He was going to get permission to hunt on Mr. Larkin's property. And, of course, Dad was granted that permission to hunt on the property. And we had noticed that Mr. Larkin's cupboards were bare. He had no food. He had just the clothes on his back. And so what we did was, because we, and it wasn't just because, let us pay you back for allowing me to hunt on your property. We did it as a good Samaritan. What we did was we went and purchased groceries for Mr. Larkins, and he would not accept it. He was reluctant in accepting our gift, and he says, no, I can't take it, and he pushed it back, and we told him, you will accept this because you're a nice man, you've done a lot for a lot of people, you help people, let us help you. And so reluctantly he says, okay, and he shook our hands and he says, thank you very much, thank you very much. And on October 26th, he passed away at the age of 88. So that kind of hit my dad and I a little hard, because we did help the guy. We took groceries to his house, and so that's something that's hard to deal with, because when you look after someone, when you help someone in need, and that's in our nature. We just like to help people. And when something happens, they pass away or something else happens, it's hard for us to take because we are caring and giving people. And Mr. Larkins was one hell of a nice guy, and I'm sorry that he passed. But, we did a good thing, and we helped make a difference in his life. We helped someone in need. So.
Speak about, they didn't even have a regular funeral.
There were no services for him?
They did have services, but it was just family. Nothing, and people that he went to church with and stuff in Oakley and all that. But he lived a long life. Yeah,
88 years is a long life to live.
You figure he was born in the 30s, I think it was, or something. But
yeah. 88?
I read the obituary.
Well, he was born in, I think, 1930. 1930, because he was 88. Okay. And this is 2018, so he would have been born in 1930.
Right. You're better at that than me.
Yeah, well, it's not hard to figure out, but
I guess I just don't understand how to do it.
It's place value. I can do the place value in my head. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. I do that in my head a lot.
Really?
And speaking of place value, they tried to teach that to me in school. But they taught it in a way that I couldn't understand. I didn't comprehend what they were talking about. The ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. What are you talking about? Now I get it.
Or the five. You got your fives, tens.
Well, no, counting by fives. I'm talking place value, like say for example, the number 550. The first 5 is a hundreds. The second 5 is a tens. Then the 0 would be the ones.
Oh, okay.
Like the place value. I never understood what they meant by that until, when you get older, it starts to click.
Hey, now, I'm older than you, and I still don't understand it.
Like if you take the number 1,150, the first one is a thousands. The second one is the hundreds, the 5 is the tens, and the 0 is the ones. That's how you, say, okay, 1,150 plus 10 would be 1,160. Because the 5 is in the tens place, and you just go up 1.
Oh, okay.
So it's 1160. Yeah.
I won't go there, Jared. You lost me already.
What I don't understand is algebra. You will never get me to understand algebra if you threw it at me. X times W and C squared and all that. Nah, I'm good. I don't understand any of that. Because never in my life will I substitute numbers for letters and vice versa. I will never use letters to represent numbers when I'm just going to write the number. You know, when I do my bank book, I don't write XXXXX, you know, or XYZ equals such and such amount. No, I just write the number.
Right.
I don't get it. Perhaps I'll never understand it. If that makes me a dummy, oh well, then I guess I'm a dummy. When it comes to that, anyway.
We're all dummies when it comes to certain things.
Like algebra and geometry, I'm not really familiar with geometry, but if I really understood geometry, like down to a T, then no pun intended. Man, I could win lots of money playing billiards.
Yeah.
Because I would know the angles, you know. I would know how to bounce it, the cue ball off the edges, and
yeah.
I would be I'd be rich. And I'm not an architect, so, you know.
Shoot pool like Dad.
Yeah. Dad can jump the cue ball. Today is Veterans Day, by the way, so I wanted to use this time to thank all of our military personnel for their service, our servicemen and women. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
For everything you do for this country. And my dad served in the Army for 6 years. My Uncle Tim was in the Army for 10. They enlisted together. They went together. They were infantry in the Army. Well, my dad was infantry in the Army, 125th Infantry Division. They were Bravo Company in Saginaw. So, thank you. Thank you very much, all of our military servicemen and servicewomen, for your service for this country. Trying to think of anything else to add, because I wanted to make sure I got the Veterans Day plug in there.
Right.
I'm just rambling. This is just random jibber jabber, because I really don't know what else to talk about to fill in the time. I'm usually here for about an hour, but nah. The Sunday video updates, there's really no set time that I have to be here. There's no certain length of time that I have to get in, because I haven't been here very long anyway. Almost a half an hour. And it seems like it drags.
Yeah.
That half hour seems like it takes forever, but when you talk about things and when we're discussing things, oh, I've been here for an hour already. Okay. Okay.
You don't realize it.
Yeah, it flies by so quickly. And for those of you who are connected with me on Facebook, when I did yesterday's live video, you probably noticed the familiar background. Yeah, I did the Facebook Live from this very location. But I do have my cell phone, and I do have the Facebook app on my phone. So if I go live any other time, if I'm not at home, you're going to notice different backgrounds, different surroundings. But yeah, I'm back on Facebook. I can't be happier.
That's cool.
Yeah,
You're not letting anyone intimidate you.
And I can't. You know, I was letting my so-called group of elite haters control my happiness, and I'm just not going to do that anymore.
It ain't worth satisfying.
You know, and I'm not going to chase after people. If they want to leave, adios. But just remember who was there for you when the going got tough. Who was a voice for you? I was. But no regrets. You know, I look out for people. I help people. No regrets. And they try to make me feel like I have done something horribly wrong.
And you haven't.
And they will desperately flail around and make me feel like, oh, Jared said this and Jared done that. Nah, no, I didn't. I spoke truth. And truth is painful. It hurts, Amy. You can't get a Band-Aid for truth.
Oh, no. No, you can't.
And, you know, it's one of the reasons why I visit I don't visit GuideStar, but I plug GuideStar. I endorse GuideStar because, you know, you wouldn't think that there are so many people out there who are caricaturing cancer. Not just pediatric cancer, but they make a mockery of this. They shave their heads and pretend to have cancer so they can get a bunch of money. I think it's appalling. It's repugnant. It's disgusting. And those people should be facing serious consequences for that. There should be sharper teeth on the laws that you know, and it's not just people who are faking having cancer. It's people who are using this for their own sick, twisted, demented personal reasons. No, you don't get to bootstrap onto our lifestyles to make yourselves look good. No, it doesn't happen. Just like there was, I'm going to say it's a troll, someone posing as a 13-year-old kid, right, Amy? I don't know if any of you have ever heard of this. I don't know if I talked about this in my Facebook Live yesterday. There is a kid, I don't know if, I'm not even sure that it was a kid. It could be, I don't know. But some person here on YouTube, he's trolling my videos, right? He reached out to me first, by the way. I didn't reach out to him, he reached out to me. He initiated conversation. So, you know, it started off nice and pleasant, and he was, oh, you sound like a really nice guy. Well, thank you, you know, I try to be nice to everybody. Well, then we started to email one another. I told him, well, if there's something, you know, you would like to talk about privately with me and you don't want to discuss it in the open, you know, here's my email address so we can talk. And so he emailed me and he mentioned a name of an actor from Canada that we had a bit of a falling out. You know, he's got me branded as a bully when I'm not a bully. But he mentioned a name of an actor, and it's like, nah, I'm not going to play this game. I'm not going down this rabbit hole. You're done. And then he started calling me a bunch of names. I returned the favor. I'm not proud of that because it very well could be a 13-year-old kid. And I don't want to call a 13-year-old kid a bunch of names, but you know what? If you're going to come trolling on my YouTube channel, I'm going to call you out each and every single time. And the only reason I told him to email me, like I said, is because, excuse me, I told him to email me because if there was something he wanted to discuss, something that he didn't want out there into the open, you know, in the public.
Right.
And so I was generous enough to say, well, okay, well then let's move this conversation. But here's the catch, Amy. He told me that he only gets on the internet, and I know he's watching this video. I know he's watching this. He told me that he does not get on the internet when his parents are home. That left a very unsettling feeling in my stomach. It's like, why would you, you know, I feel uncomfortable about this, but why would you wait until your parents are gone? And second of all, I asked him, I demanded that he showed pictures, like recent updated pictures of himself, to prove that he was who he was legitimately. You know, like when I'm on Twitter, I post selfies of I hate that word, by the way, but I post pictures of myself to show people that there's consistency. And even if I'm, you know, outside and I snap a picture like I did yesterday, I snapped a picture of myself wearing these really cool hip shades, you know, and I was wearing my leather. I am who I say I am. I have no reason to lie about who I am or my identity or whatever. I am legitimately who I say I am, and I've always been. And I demand this, especially because that's how I can distinguish who's being fake and who's being real. And he kept saying, well, no, the profile picture in my YouTube channel is my profile picture. It's really me. Well, that's not enough. I need to see more proof. And he failed to do that. He fought me tooth and nail, which tells me he's hiding something. Maybe that's why I'm having my doubts as to whether or not he was a 13-year-old kid. Because there are adults who pose as young kids. I'm not going to play that game. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole with anybody.
You're not on that end, so, you know, you can't actually say that you know.
You know, because I give people the benefit of the doubt. That's just the kind of person I am. That's why I said, you know, and even with that being said, where, you know, I don't feel comfortable, you know, with you talking to me if your parents aren't there to supervise, but if there is something private that you wanted to talk to me about, if there was something that you didn't want everyone to know, then email me and we can have that discussion there. Anybody can email me, Amy. My email address is in my About tab section of my YouTube channel. Anybody can find my email address and shoot me an email.
Right.
But I'm not going to play this game where, you know, if I'm demanding more proof, more evidence, by saying, look, I want you to prove that you are legitimately who you say you are, and they fail to do so, or they want to do a tap dance and tiptoe around doing it, then something is obviously up with that. And that's one of the things I tried to point out in my video called Twitter Safety. It was just an audio recording where I'm talking. I'm not actually sitting here and ad-libbing everything I'm saying. I actually read something that I had written and recorded it. Yeah, that's all my, you know, my recorded audio stuff. That's all, you know, I have to write it out first and then reread it back to you through a microphone. But anyway, I'm not going to play this game with anyone. And this is one of the strong points that I try to point out to so many of these parents on social media, you know, when they allow their kids, especially kids in the show business world, you know, the kids who are actors. I try to point out as often as I can that, you know, parents, I'm sure you're reasonable parents, you're down-to-earth people. And, yeah, there are a lot of creeps out there. There are, without a doubt. There are creeps on the internet. I'm not one of them. And that's what I tried to point out. It's like, well, why would you think that about me? Why would you believe that? If someone tells you something about me, why would you believe it? Have I at one time ever demonstrated that I was this horrible, vindictive person? You know, I'm a human being as well, and when I get backed into a corner, when I get pushed enough times, I lose my temper. Sure, just like you do. But that doesn't make me a bad person. I'm human. And I have my breaking points just like anyone else, and sometimes enough is enough. But when I'm trying to make a point, and I'm trying to understand a person's way of thinking, I try to understand their logic. It doesn't add up. And if someone is going to hide their identity, if they're not going to show who and what they really and truly are, you should take, you know, that should be a red flag right off the bat. I don't care if these fake accounts block me on Twitter or Facebook. I don't give a damn. Because I don't associate with people who are fake. I have lots of friends on Twitter, lots of friends on Facebook. You know, for better or worse, Amy, I get heard.
Oh, yeah.
By a lot of people. By people who love me, people who hate me. Hey, it's a win-win. I get heard. But I'm not going to play this game of, you know, well, this is my picture and that's all you need to know. No, you need to show more. I need to see more evidence of who you are. Not cartoons, not this, not that. Show me numerous pictures of yourself, different poses of your face. I don't need to see your whole body, just your face. I know I kind of rambled a little bit there, but you know, I'm done playing games. And these parents, I'm not trying to sound like a jerk, but you need to wake up. And you need to understand that you are associating with people who are fake. They have this issue with they don't want to reveal their identity. And then you have people who are actually creeps on Twitter. There's one in particular. He is an actual registered sex offender in the state of Florida. And these parents allow him to follow their children. And I don't want to make it sound like the parents are lazily allowing this, because they may not understand. They may not know that he's a registered sex offender. But he is. Name's Eric Smith. And yeah, I'm throwing the name out there. Why not? I've done it already. But he is a registered sex offender in the state of Florida. And you know, you may not have recognized this or known this before, but now you do. And I don't have a problem with telling anyone that, hey, your kids are, you know, following someone who is a predator, and the charges that are on his profile on the Florida's sex offender public registry includes minors. Includes minors. You know, I do the research. I do the research. In fact, I used to be friends with this Eric Smith guy, but that was before I knew he was a sex offender, that he had possession of child pornography. But when I did the research and I found out, I want nothing to do with you. You disgusting, vile pig. I want nothing to do with you. I want nothing to do with people who abuse children like that, or in any way whatsoever. I want nothing to do with child abusers. No. And if that makes me a bad guy, well, so be it, I guess, Amy.
Well, I mean, you're out there to protect the kids and make sure that they're safe. Parents need to start listening. And
you know, I don't do this to be annoying, and I don't say, well, you know, you should really just be careful with this account. I don't say it to get under your skin. I'm saying it because there's something that I get a feeling about a certain account that you may not see or you may overlook, and I just want you to consider some things. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to look out for you. I put other people's, you know, safety before my own. I make everybody else a priority. So. But anyway, so I've spoken my piece about that. It is, let me see what time it is here.
Jared.
Huh?
They took $5 away from Dad in food stamps.
$2.35. Oh yeah.
Yep.
So I've been here for almost 45 minutes.
You're breaking out what?
Almost 45 minutes.
He said, really?
So, but anyway.
He gets only $93 now in food
okay.
stamps.
All right. All right. So here I am. Don't know what else to say.
He's doing a live video.
It's not live. It's recorded.
Oh, it's recorded.
These Sunday video updates are never.
Okay, baby. Don't forget Jimmy.
They're never live. Although I've been considering doing live videos here on my YouTube channel. I have enough people subscribed to my channel. Excuse me. And I would love to do a live video and get some people to watch. And yeah, call me on my cell phone. I'll do a live call-in show. But if you do, you know, you'll have to turn down the volume, mute the volume, so that way there's no feedback. But yeah, I want to get more creative with my YouTube channel. I want to get more creative with when I'm on Facebook and Twitter. I want to interact with as many people as I can. When I'm on Twitter, I share a lot of IMDb pages of a lot of the actor kids, just to show my support. That's all, you know, that's all I do. That's always been the case. you know, I just like to support people. I like to help people. That's who I am. It's in my nature to want to help people. So, and by all means, if me talking about things that really matter, like there's hot button issues that need to be addressed, if that comes off as innocuous to most people, I'm sorry, but you know that's the reality of what's going on, and I don't want to. I don't want to discourage anyone from using social media, although I do have my own personal quibbles about social media. But there are lots and lots and lots of people who are on it, and I just want people to be aware and conscious of what they're doing when they're on social media. Because everything you see is not always true, and people can be very, very deceptive. And I try to expose that as much as I can, because we need people who are honestly pursuing things and striving for the betterment of other people. And everybody uses social media. Most everybody I know is on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. You know, between the three, everybody's on it. So that's why I want to try to help. And I'm not trying to tell people how to think. I just want people to stop and look and examine what's in front of them, what they have to work with. And if things don't add up, if things don't add up properly, then something's going on. Something's up. And I just want people to be aware and conscious of what they're dealing with. But anywho, I want cherry cheesecake.
Well, you better call Dad. He's at Frank's right now.
He's getting some stuff for supper tonight.
I don't know what all he's getting. He's getting what he can.
Just get food. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care what he buys. But yeah, I'm gonna shop on the 19th. If nobody's inviting us for Thanksgiving, and I gotta know, people, I gotta know now what's going on. Because there have been several years, in years past, we've been pulled off in different directions. We get invited here, we get invited there, we get invited there, which is nice. It's nice to know that we're loved enough and thought about enough to be invited somewhere for a holiday, to enjoy a meal with people who want us around. That's wonderful. It's an amazing feeling. But I kind of got to know now what's going on. It's fast approaching, and I got to make sure. You know, I didn't even mention stuffing.
Nope.
I mean, you usually get stuffing with the turkey, but I like eating stuffing.
I would take the ham.
Well, that's what I was saying,
over anything.
Because I was just going to buy like a nice shank ham. You know, so moist that it just falls right off the bone.
Ooh.
You know, I love ham. Oh, my mouth is watering.
Shut up, Jared.
I love ham. I'm not a fan of turkey, unless if it's cooked a certain way. If it's moist, I'll eat turkey. If it's cut nice and thin where I can make ham sandwiches or ham sandwiches, I'm talking turkey. If I can make a turkey sandwich, I like my turkey cut nice and thin. Yeah, turkey sandwiches are pretty good. Oh, but we're talking food again, and I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, and it's not helping. But
Dad's shopping. He's at Frank's in Chesaning, so hopefully he brings back some goodies, because I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Ramen noodles are just not cutting it. And they say, there's all kinds of talk about ramen noodles. I don't know. I've eaten them since I was a kid. They say ramen noodles causes dementia or Alzheimer's or something like that. Amy, I don't know if you've heard that.
No, I haven't.
And they say, like in my situation, being a child of cancer survivor, well, you got to watch what you eat because of the.
They're telling you that no matter what.
I mean, they tell you that no matter what. One day it's good to have a glass of wine with your meal, then the next day, or perhaps maybe the next week, oh, well, don't drink wine anymore. Just, let people do what they're going to do. You only got this one life to live. Eat up, drink up, be happy. As long as you're not hurting anybody else. And that's the main thing.
Yeah.
If you're not hurting anybody else, do what makes you happy. And speaking of doing things that don't hurt anyone else, we just had our midterm elections for all my political friends who are watching. And here in Michigan, Proposal 1, which was the legalization of recreational marijuana use, passed. They voted yes on it. However, that doesn't mean that it's okay to do it now. I mean, unless, of course, if you have the card. Amy knows more about this than I do, but because I don't smoke pot. But they had a vote, and it was yes. The people were in favor of legalizing recreational marijuana, and primarily I think for medicinal purposes. I don't know. People smoke it anyway. I say let them smoke. Let them smoke. They're not bothering anyone else.
Well, it's like I tell my doctors, Jared. There are a lot of reasons why people turn to the marijuana, like me. I can't have any narcotic.
No.
So, what am I supposed to use for pain?
Yeah.
If they're not going to prescribe me anything for pain.
Right.
Plus, you also got to look at my past background with the mental issues.
Right.
How I was treating myself with that.
And I'm going to go on record right now as to say, yes, I used to smoke weed. But I had to quit. I had to quit because...
You had a bad experience.
A bad experience because someone decided to lace it.
Yep.
And I went into convulsions, so no more of that for me.
Which, the other party that was in on that, smoking that...
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't have the same reaction that you did.
Yeah, I cannot... Now, I can't stand the smell of it. I can't...
You're getting better with the smell, I think.
It just makes my stomach turn. Just the smell of it. I mean, if I'm not really focused on it enough to be paying attention to, it doesn't bother me. But if I'm in a room with like 4 or 5 people passing around a doobie, I can't be there. I just can't do it because
I hate to see you come New Year's.
My stomach turns. I get headaches. My body can't take it anymore.
Well, how's this? If it comes down at New Year's and it gets too bad for you, let me know, because I'm not a drinker.
Well,
I drink maybe 1 shot a year, but I'll smoke it in.
But, I'll go as far as even saying this. The crime isn't the fact that people have it. The crime is that they have to hide it.
Yeah.
I
ran into a lot of people where I have to hide it. But I'm at that point right now to where...
Who cares?
I don't care what people say.
I wouldn't either. They try to criminalize weed. Because, no one's died from weed.
No, my psychiatric doctor, I just recently talked to him about it. And you know what he come out and said to me? Amy, I hate to say it, but I don't ever see you quitting the weed. He says it's helping you.
It's better than drinking.
He says, you have not OD'd.
I've never heard of an overdose on marijuana.
Since I've been on it.
Excuse me.
What I did is I replaced the meth, the Xanax.
Yeah, all the hard stuff.
Yes.
But the thing is I've never done pills. I've never shot up. I've never done any of that hard, stupid stuff. I've smoked weed.
I smoked done acid.
Well, I mean, I've never done any of that, but I've smoked weed. That's the farthest as it's gone for me. But I had to quit smoking because it was laced, and now my body has like this internal reaction to it now that it can't. can't take it. It's
Yeah.
like even the smell of it makes me feel sick. But the crime is that people have to hide it. Weed never killed anybody. I know a lot of people. My brother smoked pot. I mean, so what? My dad smoked pot when he was younger. I don't know of anybody who's never smoked weed.
Too many are
But
at that point to where they want to jump the gun and
they're trying to make it.
bad.
They're trying to make it sound like it's such a bad thing to smoke pot. It's not really. I would much rather see people smoking weed than shooting up or taking pills or drinking, because statistically, drinking kills more than pot ever did. Alcohol, when you're drinking and driving, a lot of people have died doing that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anyone being high on weed and killing themselves in a car accident.
No.
In fact, I think you're more focused when you're behind the wheel when you're high. But that could be, I could be wrong about that too, because.
Well, yeah, they're saying now that they can get, even though it's legalized,
Yeah.
they can get you on impaired driving because of it.
Yeah. Well, I guess it would be to some extent because you're.
Well, they're trying to say that you have a slower reaction.
Yeah,
if you were sober.
You're inhibited with something that impairs your driving. So
Yeah.
I guess that would make sense. But I've never driven when I was stoned.
No.
Stoned on weed, that is.
I don't drive ever, so I ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah, I've never driven high. But no, just so people don't get this out, oh, Jared's a drug addict. No, I'm not.
No, Jared don't even smoke it.
I don't smoke weed. I've never done pills. I've never shot up. I've never done any of that stupid stuff. What's weed? Smoking pot doesn't make you a drug addict.
No, but there are certain doctors that are against it.
Yeah.
And
it's all a matter of perspective and opinion,
yeah,
I think.
And some places, they figure you're addicted to it. And you're addicted to other things, like cigarettes.
Like where you're dependent on weed to get through the day.
Yeah.
Not saying any names.
I'm doing pretty good, buddy. It is 2:49 and I ain't been in that bedroom yet.
But, yeah. I don't need it. And even if I wanted to smoke again, I couldn't do it because I have a bad reaction to it. And I'm not judging anyone who smokes pot. I mean, if it helps you, and I know lots of kids, like the cancer patients, they eat the edibles, or not just cancer kids, but kids in general they have ailing health. But here's something I wanted to point out too in regards to that. There are people who smoke pot, and they do it recreationally, as I had mentioned, but they want to use kids having cancer as a crutch for their reasons to do it, and I think that's wrong.
Right.
Don't use sick, dying children as an excuse, as a faulty, piss-poor excuse for your smoking pot. Because they had nothing to do with you and your choices to do it, first of all. And second of all, they didn't ask to be in that position. So can we eliminate this excuse, well, hey, they prescribe it to kids, so why? No, that is a piss-poor excuse.
Yeah, they've now got it to where as of beginning of December, middle of December, they've got it now to where it's 21 years and older, or if you got spinal bifida or
some kind of a debilitating disease,
cancer, whatever,
something that is debilitating.
They use what is called CBD.
Yeah, CBD oil.
And it does not have the THC.
That is if you were to smoke a joint.
Right.
Yeah, gotcha. The THCs are Yeah, when you smoke pot, you really feel the THCs.
Oh, yeah.
I know I did.
And all that is the THC is just mainly mentally.
Yeah. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying, talking about initially, that we had our midterm elections. We do have a new governor. Gretchen Whitmer is now our governor. She's a Democrat. And, yeah, so things have changed. I didn't vote, of course, but, all of my other friends who say, well, get out and vote. If you don't vote, you can't complain. Well, hey, if you vote, you have no right to complain. How's that? It's a backwards logic. Because if you vote, and these are people that I didn't ask to be put there, if I stay home and don't vote, I'm not contributing to whatever mess that you're potentially making by going out and voting. Well, it's a civic duty. No, civic duty would be not to kill anyone, not to harm anyone, and to help each other. That is my civic duty. I don't think voting should be categorized or placed in such a, prestigious category as civic duty.
Right.
I don't see that. But I haven't voted in 14 years.
I haven't voted in about that long.
I'm registered to vote. I thought it was just wow. Just bizarre. I just have no interest or desire in it. Because if it's really the politicians who are going to make the world better, well, why do we keep voting, first of all? And second of all, I haven't noticed the world getting better in terms of crime rate. Maybe I'm not looking at the statistics. But there was just another shooting in California. California has really been in the news a lot lately. They had a shooting in Thousand Oaks, California. My thoughts go out to them. And, of course, the wildfires. It's been devastating this past week in California. So I don't want to, make light of a delicate situation, but if it's really the politicians who are going to change everything, why do we keep voting? Because it seems like if the politicians, all these years of voting, I'm 32 years old, and it seems to me like things have only gotten progressively worse over time. And if it's really getting out and voting and putting politicians in place of power, then why keep voting? Oh, well, we voted for them. They promised this, but you know what? They didn't do the job that we wanted. So, every 4 years we have these predetermined choices because we don't have freedom of choice. We never have. It's just a nice illusion, and I wish to not participate in that. Oh, and by the way, my civic duty is not picking and choosing who gets to dictate and control my life or dictate or control your life. That to me is a civic duty. I would categorize that as a civic duty. I don't get involved in it. But Jared, you don't care. You take our democracy for granted. Well, things have not improved for the better as far as I can see. But that's just my opinion. That's one person's opinion. But I could go on and on and on about politics and voting. I'm not a political person. I don't follow who's who or who's doing what. I just don't care. It's never going to get better in our time. So why bother? But anyway, so food. Come on, Dad. Hurry up and get back with the food. Yeah, so that's, there's been a lot of changes happening lately, and it's, that's life. Nothing stays the same forever.
No, we wish it would.
I wish it would, but, it is what it is. I gotta sneeze.
Uh-oh.
Huh. Bingo. Twice I sneezed. Bless me. I did that on the Facebook Live video yesterday, too. Oh, I feel a sneeze coming. I sneezed once, and that was it. But I did it twice this time.
Well, like I said, bless you, bless you.
Yeah. Ugh. Allergies. Sinuses. Okay, so I have been here over an hour. And so I guess I will wrap up the video.
Okay.
For this week.
Peace out.
And so I just wanted to thank all of you again for watching another installment of the Sunday video update. I hope you all had a wonderful week. I hope this week coming up will be just as good, if not better, than last week. I'll be back here again next Sunday for another edition of the Sunday video update. Same bear time, same bear channel. And don't forget, this coming Friday is my 19th anniversary of journal writing. I'm going to put together a little video. I'm going to go through and edit some things and take some pictures. And if you follow me on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, whichever one, because now I'm on 3 different platforms. But at some point, you will see something relating to my journals and commemorating what I call the story of a lifetime. That's the title I had given all of my, my collection of journals, poems, autograph pics that I've been receiving in the mail. I have 340 autographs now.
Dang.
And I've been collecting since February 28th of 2007, which was my brother Wayne's 40th birthday. 40? No, 30th birthday. 30th birthday. Yeah, 30th birthday. My math is off. See, I'm not such a genius at math either, Amy, so don't feel bad. But anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Have a wonderful week. Much love to all of you, and peace out. Take care, guys.